Laughter is a sun that dries winter from the human face by Victor Hugo.
And with the laughters, you can enjoy tremendous benefits in your speech. Let's talk about this. Hi everybody, it's me Henry and welcome to my channel. This channel is a channel that provides values for those who want to improve the public speaking skills, whether it is one-on-one, one-to-many, or in front of the camera. And today, this topic, we're going to talk about the skill of humor in your speech. Well, for those who are first time here, please consider to hit the subscribe button and turn on all the notifications because I don't want you to miss any videos from my channel. Well, as you know, laughter is important, that it can make the presentation become more attractive. Just imagine with one super intelligent guy and with no sense of humor and another one person which is average, but it is good enough to tell us what we're supposed to know, but at the same time, he has a sense of humor. Now, who would you prefer to listen to? Just leave your comments below and let me know what you think. In my opinion, I think that most people, there's no right or wrong, most people will prefer to the one with a great sense of humor. But of course, if that person has a sense of humor at the same time it has a high intelligence, that will be great. Now, who doesn't want that, right? That will be great because with a sense of humor, it can make your presentation become more attractive. So in here, I would say there are two sides of the benefit. Now, one benefit for the speaker is the speaker able to make the interaction and to engage the audience, continue to listen to his speech and all the important information. Well, to the audience, the great sense of humor is to make sure the audience, they can easily remember the important points in the presentation. Well, you can have a quick survey with yourself. Well, if you're looking to a channel that's full of the bombastic information or the great information, and another one which is the funny video, funny movie, which one would you remember the most? Obviously, you have the answer. Well, it depends on the people. Well, I would say most of the people, they can easily remember something which is funny, and that's why you can see the funny movie. Most of the people, they watch one time and after that, they can remember and continue to tell the story. Wow, that is the human instinct, the human behavior. Easy to remember the funny thing. And here we are, I'm gonna have two parts of the secrets on how you can bring the humor to your speech. Now, part number one, which is the preparation before the stage, and part number two, which is on the stage during your presentation. Well, let's jump into part number one, before the stage. And we have two things that we need to make sure. Now, the first thing is that you gotta know what is your character. You have to identify your character first. Now, you can see recently one of the famous YouTuber, Uncle Roger, he made himself become an Uncle Roger with the identity with the old star, with the polo tee, orange color, and with the handphone pouch. This is how he make himself, identify himself, become the character.
Today, Jamie Oliver back with another Asian dish. This time, he make Malaysian style whole fish. Uncle Roger, Malaysian people. And I love roasting Jamie Oliver.
But in the real life, he doesn't speak in that way and he doesn't dress in that way. So this is how you identify yourself. Whether you are identify yourself as a smart guy in the dinner or in the event, just like Jim Carr from the UK, and you can wear as casual like Trevor Noah or Russell Peters. So you have to identify your character first. And you gotta know what is the event. Well, your joke, how you gotta make joke, you need to fit in the event. Well, some event, it doesn't fit this kind of joke. For example, you're not gonna make jokes in the funeral that it could turn really bad. You gotta make sure to not cross beyond the limit. So the step number one, you're gonna make sure your identification and what kind of event, the venue, the audience, you gotta make sure all of this first. And the second step before the speech is train yourself on the pace. And at a certain point, you gotta have a little pause that to let your audience to breathe with your joke and to let your audience follow your story. And you can see this is the example how Trevor Noah to make the joke on his mother and father. His mother is a black woman and his father is a white man. So let's see how he makes the joke. So you can see he say that how the Swishman left chocolate. So the chocolate obviously means the black woman. And then he paused for a while and to let the audience laugh. So this is how you're gonna leave a room for your audience to laugh. It doesn't mean you have to speed up all your jokes and just finish all the words. So it might not able to take that pace and to let your audience to laugh. Next is that you can see how the American former president Barack Obama, how he make the jokes.
I was running on CPT. Which stands for jokes that white people should not make.
So you can see he paused a little while to let the audience laugh and continue to speak, continue to make some jokes. At this level, pauses, it can bring another meaning that it could be like the authority, but in this event, he's not going to show more on authority. What he wants to bring out is the humorous element. So here we are, we're going to jump to part number 2, which is the Understage. So Understage, tip number 1 is don't preface your joke. This is gonna be very risky. You're gonna make sure that your audience is gonna laugh at your joke. So if you say, now I'm gonna tell you a joke. So if you mention, I'm gonna tell you a joke, so what happened? There is an expectation from your audience that you're gonna make sure you're gonna make me laugh. Then who is the one to judge your joke is funny or not? Your audience. So just imagine if the audience they don't get you or they don't really know you, how do they get your joke? And it's hard for them to catch up the fun element and to laugh. The best way is you start with a one-liner joke that you don't laugh first. So you gotta play safe with one-liner joke. For example, for one-liner joke, you can say, don't simply follow people's path. At this point, you pause a little while to let your audience to imagine, wow, you are right. We don't follow people's path. We don't do what people usually do because we will get what they get in the end. Ordinary people, we want something extraordinary. And then you've paused for a while, you continue with, unless you're lost in the jungle. So people might get your joke. Now they will say, oh yeah, that's correct. When I'm lost in the jungle, I better follow people's path. So it is, you're gonna bring something that out of their imagination, out of their expectation. So they will start to catch your joke. Or if they don't find this is funny, then you will just keep going because you never declare that you have to laugh. Nobody say this. So to play safe, if they laugh, you get bonus. If they don't laugh, you continue to carry on. Why it is so important, don't preface your joke, because when you preface your joke, that you say this is funny, if your audience in the room nobody laugh, you will feel awkward. It will make yourself more pressure to continue to bring up your message. That will indirectly make yourself uncomfortable and jump into secret number 4. Secret number 4 is the setup. The setup is important. You have to connect all the dots. You plan well with your story, and we mentioned this before in the previous video, the tips to prepare a script. So during the preparation on your script, how you do the setup is you know what are your important points or contents, and for this content you can modify a little bit like the setup on your story. Let me give you an example. Trevor Noah. So he was making a joke that comparing the sports and the economy. Let's see how he makes it. He made the setup on how the person describe the details, how he knows the details on overall sports with the energetic voice and the passion. And you can see this is how they set up, that people will start to feel it and clap hands for it. It is funny with the facial expression. This is how you do the setup. And moving up to tip number 5, which is the most important part that you're gonna fire up with all your jokes to the audience and make everybody laugh. Alright, so at the tip number 5, which is you're gonna bring something surprise to your audience after your setup, after you're connecting all the dots, and it's time you do something which is surprise to your audience. Let me give you an example. Well, the surprise, it could be in a photo or in the video. So this is an example from the former president Barack Obama and how he cracked the joke with 3 dates with his wife, Michelle Obama.
Here we are in 2008. Here we are a few years later. And this one is from 2 weeks ago.
As you can see, the first photo is how sweet they are. And the second photo, wow. So everybody was expecting the third photo. And suddenly you can see the third photo out of expectation and become the scout. So he wanted to bring the message is that it's too long for the date as president. So this is how he cracked the joke. But mind you, joke, the surprise, it can be good or bad. We gotta be careful. If the surprise is over the limit, this will happen. Let's see this. One of the contestants from the American Got Talent.
Tyra, I truly admire your courage. It must be so difficult to host a show like this and still find a way to make it about you.
Okay.
That wasn't very nice.
Well, end up with the 4 crosses from the judges. So end up it didn't turn well, and you can see from the audience that is a rule and a big cross. Now let me give you another example like Trevor Noah and how he bring the surprise, comparing the sports and the economy people. First part talking about the sport with how energetic it was, and until when we move to the economy, you see the energy totally completely different from 100% down to the 0%. Nobody knows. Well, the economy. So making a joke or bringing a humor to your speech or your performance, that can be so many ways. It could be in the speech, it could be performance, it could be anything. The main element is you gotta bring something surprise to your audience after the setup. So once again, the steps are you gotta know your identity, and the second thing is that you gotta know the pace, you gotta understand how you make the pauses, and the third thing is don't preface your joke. Play safe, be humble, just keep going on. And the fourth step is you start to do a setup on your story, and the final step is boom, bring out the surprise to your audience, to crack the jokes and everybody laugh. So this is how the skill, you bring the humor to your audience and make people laugh. Eventually you make people easy to understand who you are and your message during your presentation. It could be bring the win-win situation. So the winning to the speaker is how you're gonna make your audience continue to engage to your presentation, and the winning to your audience is they don't get bored. They feel excited about your presentation, they like your presentation, and they learn, they remember, they easy to remember who you are and what you've just mentioned. So with all the 5 tips, I strongly believe if you can apply all these 5 tips to your next presentation, they can surely bring more impact on the humorous part. If you learned something and got the values from this video, please consider to hit the subscribe button and turn on all the notifications, because I don't want you to miss any one of my future video in this channel that you're gonna learn more. And most importantly, leave your comments below and let me know what you think. I really hope to see you in the next video.